Hey Facebook followers, happy Friday. It's Facebook Friday here with Eric at the Orange Stack. We're doing something a little bit different today. We're back in the office with the green screen. So we don't normally do these Facebook videos in the office in the green screen. If you've been watching the last couple weeks, we've been outside near the beach enjoying sunny Southern California. But today I was recording a couple other pieces of content and I just figured it's 10 o'clock. I don't want to be late today. I'm either always late or just on time. So we're here today, and today we are going to dive a whole lot more into content marketing. We made a video a couple weeks ago about content marketing and kind of skimmed the surface of it, and I had a ton of good comments and questions from it. So I want to go a little bit deeper onto how maybe it can apply to you. So we're going to shift away from real estate this week because normally we talk about everything real estate around here just because it's an area of business that I know really well and I know how to talk about it, and I hope that you guys can convert those real estate stories into applicable content for your business. We work with a lot of chiropractors, pizza companies, restaurants, a lot of skincare type of product things nowadays. We're actually working with a couple venues. We basically help businesses get more business. And so whether that's through a digital campaign, because we're a digital marketing agency, or whether it's through a printed material, we work with local printers here as well. There's a whole lot we can do for your business. So if you're interested in learning more about how we can get you guys in front of the right audience, that's what we're here to talk about. So enough about me. I wanted to talk about what it is in your business that you guys can do to create a great content piece. So content marketing, think about that as blogs, right? So you're going to maybe put your written word out there on the website, our website that people can come to and read. Maybe you have an email campaign. We actually have one of those that goes out with this video. So if you're getting our email campaigns, kind of a digital newsletter type thing, that's a great place because people can read it on their terms. It'll come to them. If you have a good email audience list, if you need to build an email audience list to do that, that's another strategy that we can help you with. YouTube is a great place because if you have content that people want to know about, they're going to search for those keywords. So if you're trying to talk about building a wall, like let's just talk about construction for a second because we're going to get into that a little bit later. If you're talking about building a wall and someone says, how do I build a wall? Your video is going to be found. So that's why YouTube is a great source for content sharing. And then Facebook live shows, just like this one. So if you have a good Facebook following presence and you can tune in every week at the same time, you can create kind of a TV show, if you will, about the content that you share. And then another good one, which is kind of away from the video side, is podcasts. Podcasts are great. People listen to several hours of podcasts in their car on the way to work, on vacations, while they're running, working out, things like that. So if you're better at voice than maybe video, try podcasts. That can be a great tool. And podcasts are really big right now. There's a lot of really good ones out there. So if you have an iPhone or Android, go into your podcast distributor or wherever that may be, whether it's iTunes or something else, and find podcasts that are of interest to you just to see what people are doing in your industry and see how you can share content in that manner as well. So find what you're comfortable with. That's really the key here. If you're not comfortable with video, or if you're not comfortable writing, talk. If you're not comfortable talking, then maybe write. But one way or another, you have a way to share a message, and that's what we're going to get into deeper today. So I wanted to cover 3 different strategies on how these different industries can maybe share content and engage with an audience and drive traffic to their business. So the first one is health. I think health is a big spectrum. You can have doctors, you can have chiropractors, you can have fitness coaches, things like that. You can even have nutrition and things like that. So hopefully something in this category will speak to one of you. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into the fitness category. So think about like a personal trainer, somebody who's going to help you work out and get in better shape. So we're going to talk really deep into video as well on this one. We're going to go deep into maybe some video content that you can create. Obviously, you can kind of convert this into a podcast or a blog if you want to, but we're going to keep this more video minded. So one of the things I recommend to people in the fitness industry is show kind of how-to videos, so maybe how to stretch before a workout, how to prepare for a big marathon that you have coming up, and some of the things that you're going to do on a daily basis to get ready. You don't just get up, jump out of bed, and go run. You got to stretch, you got to warm yourself up. So show how you do that. Maybe make even just 2-3 minute videos on some of the stretches that you recommend. If you're going to run versus lift weights versus swim, what are the different things that you're going to do to prepare for this workout? And then you can actually show various workouts. So you could say, here's some arm exercises. Here's some ways that I run. Here's, how to prepare for your first mile. Here's how to prepare for your first marathon, things like that. Maybe if somebody's not as comfortable swimming, you can talk about swimming techniques. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can really dive deep into. So really just showing them different workout techniques. I was listening to another video earlier today, and he was talking about someone preparing to go work out, and they're worried about, how do I know which machine to go to? How do I know what setting to put it on? How do I know which weight to put on? So maybe you go to the gym, bring your camera, record some stuff, like this is how you set the machine up. This is how I know how much weight to put on this machine. This is how much weight I should put on my my dumbbells. How much weight should I pick up? I don't know. I don't want to hurt myself. So those kind of things. Basically just answer the questions that you probably get about working out. And then how to train, right? So we talked about maybe a marathon. How do you train for a marathon? Do you just get out and run 26 miles? No, you probably start at 1 mile and then 2 mile and 4 mile and so forth. So how long do you need to train? What are the things that you need to eat to sustain this kind of energy for a marathon? Maybe that's another good tip too. Talk about meals and plans and how to prepare for dietary needs when exercising. So, what are some things you can eat in the morning to prepare for a good workout? So those are just some great things. I mean, that's hundreds of content of topic right there. You can make a video every single week for the next couple of years if you dove deeper into this. Another one, we're going to talk about this on each of these, Facebook Live. So maybe you teach a workout class, right? So maybe you don't have a big room, maybe you have a small space, but you can set a tripod up in the corner, hit go live, and basically say, every Thursday at 6 a.m. I'm going to teach a yoga class, and you do yoga in front of everybody on Facebook Live so that they can get onto their TV. Most TVs have the capability of streaming Facebook Live nowadays, or their computer, whatever it is, and basically do a live yoga class. Maybe you do a cardio class, maybe do a spin class. Like, there's so many different things you can do, and basically start your own workout show. I mean, the power of the cell phone nowadays in people's hands is amazing. You don't have to be on ABC and CBS to have a TV show anymore, or a cable channel. You literally have the possession in your hand to start your own cable channel, if you will, and be the star of it. And it's virtually free. Right now I'm streaming to all you guys for free, and I don't have to pay for any equipment except for the cell phone that was in my pocket that you probably already had. So that's really cool to consider. Next topic, let's get into construction. So construction is kind of unique, but I think it's going to relate to a couple different industries as well. So I have a construction background. I worked for a general contractor for a while. That's maybe going to be a little bit different because I was in the commercial sector. This is probably more for residential. So how to, right? How to is huge. How do I paint? How do I install drywall? How do I do trim? How do I install a door? How do I put in a cabinet? How do I install IKEA cabinets, right? Like, we're trying to read those directions are crazy. So just how to do this, how to do that. If you've ever watched HGTV, that's what the whole show is all about. How do I do this, right? So how do I pick out colors? How do I design this? Like, you know your trade, you know what you're good at. You could even interview plumbers and painters and interior designers and granite guys. I mean, there's so many different things that you could do in a video element. Go to a house and talk about what you're doing to that house. Maybe you're in the middle of adding on to a property and showing all the things that are involved. Most people don't know past the drywall what's going on. You're not trying to put yourself out of a job here, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but you're basically just showing how much of an expert you are in this industry and how much you know about it. So I would think that could be a great show, actually, is going back to the Facebook Live. Maybe every week or every couple days during the week you tune in on a big project. Maybe we're building a house, maybe we're remodeling a kitchen, whatever it is. Check in and show your audience what you're doing that week. Show progress. Here's the before, here's what we're doing, we're going to tear out this, we're going to do that. Here's the during, here's all of the dust and debris everywhere. Here's what we found. We didn't expect this to be that bad. Here's how we're going to handle it. Just showing people what they're going to go through. What that's going to do is it's going to show your clients who you work with that you know how to handle situations when they come up. If you tear apart a whole kitchen and you find out that the dishwasher's been leaking for 20 years and the floor rotted out, that happened to me on a house, by the way, you are going to show your client how you take care of these things and how you fix these things and how unknown items in the process can come up and how you're going to handle them and be a professional. So it's just going to make you look that much better. So that's construction. I think you have a lot of how-to opportunities, showing them what you do and why you're so great at it. The last one is the auto dealer. So this could be somebody who's selling cars or even somebody who's repairing cars, but I'm going to kind of talk about the different sections of that. So if you're an auto dealer, every week you probably have a new car that comes onto the lot. If you're a used car dealer, if you're a new car dealer, you have a big inventory that comes at the beginning of the car sales season. You'll probably have remaining inventory that happens over the weeks. What if you did a car show every day, every couple days, once a week, and just showcase the cars that you have? Maybe you have whatever, I can't think of any cars right now, a new Honda or a new Chevy or something like that that's in your possession. You could basically make a 5 to 10 minute video about all the features that car has. Here's the navigation, here's what the engine's like, here's the horsepower that you get, here's the features that this car has that maybe other cars like it don't have. Here's why this one's unique. Maybe you have an old collector car that you want to talk about. I'm into old cars. I have a 50-year-old Volkswagen. Actually, it turns 50 next month. And I'm really excited about that. So I would love to see a show about, an old car or a classic car that you guys have and how it's been restored. You could talk about maintenance, maintenance tips. How often do I change the oil now? How often do I need to replace the battery? When do I service the AC unit? What do I need to do with the brakes? A lot of cars nowadays don't need a lot of maintenance, but there are some things on a car that does need to be taken care of. So just showing your followers that you know what you're talking about, that the cars that you sell are well maintained and either come with a warranty or have been looked at, and people can trust that. I think that there's a lot of gray areas in the auto industry, meaning that people don't always trust car dealers. And if you put everything out there and show what you guys know and show what you do to your car to prep them for sale, it's going to evoke that much more trust in your clients. So that's another point. If I keep looking down, it's just because I have notes right here, so I'm not getting distracted, but checking here in my notes. Another one is, what to look for in buying a car. My sister-in-law, the other day, they bought a new car, and they basically walked into the list. Here's my checklist of things that I have to have. The guy who was working with them ran all over the place, came back all sweaty. This is in Texas. And he's like, I found your car. I found exactly what you need. They didn't even say, I want this, I want that. Like, I want a Ford this year. They just basically gave him the list, and he came back and said, I found the car for you. So he knew their customer, he knew them as a client and what they needed, right? And he knew his inventory, kind of. He had to go get a little sweaty to go find it. But my point is help people know what to look for in a car. How many seats do you need? What kind of technology do you want? How many miles per gallon do you get? Is gas or hybrid important to you? What kind of towing capacity you need? Talk about the things that you think about when you're buying a car, just so that when people come to you to buy, they're ready to go and they know what they're looking for. Another one, just talked about this. What are the pros and cons of hybrid versus gas versus electric? There's a lot of cars coming onto the market nowadays that are electric. That may be a good thing, maybe a bad thing. If you travel a lot for work, maybe an electric vehicle isn't an option because of the limited range. If you drive 10 miles or less every single day, maybe an electric car is a great choice for you. So pros and cons, right? Talk about the benefits of what each car has nowadays and what you're looking for. Maybe you talk about aftermarket options. So if you're gonna do this to the car, put a lift on it, change the exhaust, upgrade, different parts of the car, what's that gonna do to the car? How's it gonna affect it? Maybe you review different parts. I had a truck once, we put a lift on it, and I watched a ton of videos on the different suspension kits that you can get and how to install them. I didn't do it myself, but it helped me vet the guy who did it for me. So just educate your clients in that way. And then the last one I was thinking of for the auto guy is maybe you make a car restoration. Video. So maybe you take an old car like a Ford Mustang, a 65 Mustang or something like that, and you restore it from the ground up. So you do all the body work, you paint it, you do the interior, you rewire it, you replace the engine. Maybe this is a 2-month, maybe it's a 2-year project, and you follow that car along every single week all the way through, and then you sell it at the end. Don't you think the people who've been watching that show all the way along are probably willing to pay a high price for that car because they've seen everything that you've done to it? So that's a great strategy. There's a lot of auto shows on like the Speed Channel. Just look what's on TV today and you guys can have a ton of content. People love, there's millions of people who watch TV every single day. So there's no shortage of content out there. I would definitely encourage you guys to find a topic in your industry and figure out how you can share it with your clients. And you're gonna realize people wanna tune in and see what you're doing every single day. So once a week, if possible, that's what I recommend. Just something once a week because it engages your clients, it reminds them who you are, and it's going to keep you on your toes and keep you sharing content. If you go down to once a month, it's probably so seldom that people forget who you are and coming back, and every day can be kind of a challenge. So start with once a week, do that maybe for 6 months, and then get up to a couple times a week and kind of go from there. Maybe even do something that's every single day. So that's my point. And going back to losing your job. So I was thinking about this. If I share everything that I know isn't somebody just gonna go around me to do that thing? If I'm a contractor and I show everybody how to paint a house, why would they need to hire me to paint their house? Well, not everybody wants to do that. They may be wanting to vet you and see how well you paint and what you know about it before they hire you. And what this is going to do is it's going to make you look like an expert to them in that field. So a lot of people do want to know how the process happens, and maybe they try it themselves and then they end up realizing it's a lot more work than I had planned. I better go hire somebody who knows what they're doing, and they're going to trust you because you're the person that made this great video. So don't worry about losing your job. Just know that when I put content out there, people are going to trust me, they're going to come to me for questions, and they're going to keep following along. And you may say, well, I'm in San Diego and I'm a contractor, but this guy in New York watches all my videos. How's that going to help me? Have you ever seen the show Million Dollar Listing? I watch a lot of real estate shows, so it's on there, but Million Dollar Listing. These agents in New York get a ton of business from this TV show. People all over the world watch this show, they read their books, and the reason that they get so much business is because they know that these real estate agents have a lot of followers and a lot of traction from that. So if you're the expert in your field, if you're the best, most knowledgeable person who knows what they're talking about, people are going to come to you because of that. So you may get flown out to New York to do a project for somebody. You may have somebody ship you a car to restore because they know how talented of an individual you are. You may get hired as a personal coach from somebody across the world to have you come out and coach them once a week. You never know what could happen with this type of a reach. So go big or go home, hit record on your camera and put the content out. If you need help distributing this content, or if you're in an industry we haven't covered today and you want to dive a little deeper about how you can be a content provider in your industry, give me a call, give me a message, write me an email. I think about this stuff all day long. There's so many different industries that we talk to. We can help you figure out a plan for you, a 6-month, a 12-month plan on how to share content and really make you somebody who knows what they're talking about. So I appreciate you following me in this video today. Remember, every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we are doing this Facebook Live show. So I will see you next week. And if you don't get our newsletter, this is where we send out this video so you can watch it as soon as it comes out. Hit subscribe on here and message me, and I will be sure to add you to our newsletter. So thanks for following. Make it a great day, and I will see you next week.